This is Julie from Stereophile, and I'm here with Kevin Hayes of VAC. And you're based here in Florida. You didn't have a long trip, did you?
An hour south of here. Yep.
Yeah, a little south.
We shipped over 4,000 pounds of electronics to this show.
Wow, that's a major, yeah, you're in
It
a
was
lot of
fun.
rooms.
Very
yeah,
fun.
and everything arrived intact?
Absolutely.
Good, that's a beautiful thing. Not a tube broken?
Not a
Good.
tube broken, scratched, or even fingerprinted.
Ooh, all right, good deal.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, so we want to talk about some new products, but first we'll start off maybe with what's earlier in the chain here in the statement system. So we've got the Phono preamplifier and line preamp.
This should be familiar to a lot of people who view show reports over the years. This is the statement phono stage, the Obsidian edition, and the statement line stage. They are our flagship front-end products, and I still haven't figured out how to make them better yet, but I'm trying.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. So
Anyway,
and then you've got
they're dual mono designs. They have all the sensitive bits floating on machined brass plates that are decoupled from the outside world. And we've developed a new support, a new foot under the units, which have improved the resolution further over the prior years.
Okay, inside the chassis, beneath the components,
chassis.
or the actual feet?
Beneath the chassis.
chassis. Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
So the feet underneath
It's
the entire
hiding though,
unit.
so you probably can't see it, but it's shy.
Okay, right, hiding under there.
But that replaces the earlier chromed feet that people may be familiar with on the product.
Yeah. And did that make a sonic difference? You could,
The
as far as you could
resolution
notice?
and nuance in the mids, the improvement there was quite striking.
Really? Okay.
Much more than I would have expected. So that's become standard now for our statement preamplifiers and our master preamplifiers.
Okay.
So we make it ourselves, and we're very pleased with the results so far.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
And then
Well,
that goes down these lovely Cardus cables
oh yeah, always got the good cables.
to the world debut of the new VAC Statement 455 IQ Music Block,
Yeah.
which I guess we will go take a peek at now.
Okay. So we're here with the brand new VAC 455 statement monoblock amplifiers, and
Not just a monoblock, a music block. It actually can be configured by switches to operate in a dedicated dual mono mode
all right.
or a dedicated single mono mode. So you're looking at about 460 watts in mono and about half that per channel in stereo. Tube access directly through the hinged cover.
oh, nice. Yeah.
Machined brass hinges, look at that.
Yeah. And the tubes are
These are
gold iron there?
KT88s, gold line.
Okay, KT88s. And then these
Are 6
Those,
SN7s. These
Okay, I
particular
see
ones are
them now.
tungsols.
Okay. Nice.
They
Yeah.
have that little magnetic catch here at the end.
Yeah. And
The
these
power supply beneath.
decoupled, obviously, separate.
We have that's been seen before on some of the earlier models. We still use that. It's a ball race system of our own design, which is completely stable. You cannot drive the amp off of the platform,
Oh, wonderful.
unlike some of the earlier rollerball experiments people did.
Okay. Yeah. Where if comes off.
So as mentioned, the power supply is completely dual mono. You have about 30 pounds of power transformers for the right channel, about 30 pounds of power transfer for the left channel. And as you can see, if you can come around the back here,
Yeah.
there actually are two fairly massive cables that bring the left and right power supplies up to the audio chassis.
Right. So they're just fully discrete end to end. Okay.
And then a shared one, which is the housekeeping, the off-on signals and logo levels and things of that nature. Then there is a selector switch on the back here, which allows you to run stereo 4, stereo 8, or stereo 16 ohms, or mono 2, mono 4, or mono 8 ohms. And it can be switched between fully balanced XLR mode or an RCA input mode.
Wonderful.
And Amphenol aerospace connectors and Cardus patented binding posts and
yeah, everything.
little protective handles so you can't break the switches on the back when you
oh,
roll the
that's-
amplifier
yeah.
over.
Smart. Yeah. And these have the your long-standing patented IQ technology inside.
That is correct.
Right?
That's been about 13 years now. You're right.
Yeah.
That is long standing. We just renewed the patent, in fact, in December.
Oh, fantastic. And that's. Do you want to say a little more about that continuous auto biasing? For
Well,
the tubes?
if someone hasn't heard about it before, the basic prop situation is with any amplifier, really tube or transistor, but we'll talk tube specifically, the biasing techniques that were available up until recent years would always drift with the music. So a cathode bias amp, sometimes called a self-bias amp, moves more toward class B the louder you play.
Ah, okay.
Fixed bias amplifiers or grid bias amplifiers move more toward class A the louder you play them, until they sometimes go over that and begin to break in other parts of the waveform. So we spent 20-some years developing this circuit. The goal is to be able to see the underlying idle current of the tube even when music is playing. And that's a problem because no device being perfectly linear, the musical signal looks like DC when you try to make the measurement, and makes the measurement seem to move differently than the actual underlying truth. So what we developed was a very powerful heuristic that can infer with about 1% accuracy what the idle current, as if there were no music playing, is, and hold that steady no matter what audio signal is going on top of it.
Right.
So it makes a more solid foundation for the music, and that's important for several reasons. First off, if you adjust your idle manually and change it 1 or 2 milliamperes, you can hear the difference.
Yeah.
And the relationship between the tubes and the speakers, the idle impedance match, drifts when you do that as well.
With the musical signal, which is not static. I mean, that's...
And you don't want your music to modulate other operating conditions in the world. You want it to stay like a solid concrete foundation. And the IQ circuit does that. At the same time, it takes away any need to measure or adjust yourself.
Yeah, it
And
takes care of it all for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
In
and
real
because
time.
it knows what is happening with the tube, it can tell you whether a tube is getting too weak and should be replaced at some point, or if a tube just mechanically breaks inside and shorts, it shuts the amp down before a fuse can even get stressed or blow.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot more plug and play.
Maintenance,
Takes the drama out of owning tubes.
Right. You have, the fewer maintenance concerns that are unexpected. You can get those kinds of signal forewarnings and
It's like in your Ferrari, the tires always inflated themselves to the right pressure all the time.
Yeah. And for music in real time, when when the dynamic swings happen, to be able to have that foundation to maintain the current. Am I understanding that correctly? To maintain.
And oddly enough, when I first
consistency?
started trying to develop this back in 1993, the goal was to take away the stress from the user and not screw up the sound too much.
Right.
To actually have it make the sound much better was a real surprise to us. But there's more nuance, more breath, just more to the sound.
Yeah. To have that beneath everything that's happening on top, to maintain that stability, I'm sure is.
So now having developed it right about the same time everybody else came out with auto bias systems, so the uniqueness of the IQ system is kind of blurred in people's minds. There's auto bias that's not the same as IQ. A lot of auto bias systems will drift, as I explained earlier, with signal level over time. We're, I think, the only one that I know of that can actually clamp it where you want it to stay.
That consistency.
And it's actually the exact opposite of the sliding bias that transistor amplifier manufacturers make to keep the amps cool.
Okay.
It's the exact reverse that we're trying to do.
Interesting. Okay.
No variation, not variation with convenience.
All right.
So
Good stuff.
I think that pretty well covers it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Yeah.
Always a pleasure,
Good stuff.
Julie.